This recovery is not going to be instantaneous. I say it's going to take some time. Hey, maybe 3 years from now, we're back.
The warning from the CDC, the coronavirus is spreading so quickly.
We closed about 3 or 4 days ahead of the governor's order, and then we figured out where to go from there.
And you could just kind of tell that people kind of had an idea. Something was on the horizon. Corporate catering went from 100% to zero. Every meeting was canceled.
The words global pandemic kind of make you realize that it's not going to be a couple day situation. It took a little while, I think, for that to sink in for everybody.
I think the most difficult part of this whole experience, especially at the beginning of the pandemic, was calling each of our employees, breaking the news to them that we had to let them go.
For our restaurant, it was very much about regulars that knew each other. So they would come and they would sit and they would talk to people. And so to just strip that away and say, you can no longer come here, that was as big an adjustment for them as I think it was for us.
Physically, you couldn't see your favorite guests. You couldn't see your favorite coworkers. Sort of made that community momentarily go away. A lot more people went online.
We had a conference call with our staff shortly after the conference call with the governor to say, look, we are going to stay open. We are probably going to have to find additional revenue streams. We're going to work.
Being third generation in the restaurant industry, I only know this world. We're worker bees. We roll up our sleeves and we go to work.
If people were going to be hunkering down at home, we were going to make food for those folks to eat when they were in their house. We saw food that was being choked up in the food chain and almost would go bad. What we were able to do is call US Foods and say, hey, we'll bring that meat in, we will cut it, cryovac it, and we let people know that we were serving meals to go.
How can I let everyone know that we are really open? So I started doing videos of pizza. So I started to really be very aggressive with maintaining a very strong social media presence at that time.
We took our distillery in Milton and we stopped making our vodkas, gins, rums, and we just started making hand sanitizer. We were able to provide large quantities of that fairly quickly.
People were afraid to go out, people were afraid to come in. We had to make adjustments. You just knew that everything had to change.
We opened in the middle of a pandemic. Our furnishings are social distance. We were aware that we needed to do that prior to purchasing our furniture, so it kind of worked out for us.
We've done our best to continue to order through certain distributors. We're doing our very best to help them too. It's more of like teamwork here. I was so impressed with the community's support. Just by people messaging us, emailing, posting.
I think people understand and appreciate, what restaurants do for communities and how they bring people together. So supporting community, it wasn't a question of should we do something. It's like, okay, what can we do that can be impactful?
By being deemed essential, we were also able to provide food to frontline healthcare workers at Christiana Care, at Nemours, and at St. Francis Hospital. We donated more than 5,000 meals to frontline workers during the months of March and April.
Our landlord came to us in April and said, take your April rent check and instead of giving it to us, give it to the employees. It really warmed the heart, and I'm getting goosebumps right now talking about it. When they sent us the note saying, we want you to do this, they said, you've been so good to the community, you've been so good to your employees, you've been really good to us, we want to help out.
This is the right time to be more health conscious, be more concerned about your immune health. What we needed to do was revert back to the whole reason why we wanted to do a juice bar in the first place.
There are so many different businesses involved with making a restaurant successful. It hit on so many levels that rippled all the way through.
I think we took a lot of things for granted. The pandemic maybe helped us go back and look at it from a different perspective, but restaurants are an important part of the food chain.
Our father always said, stay ready, stay disciplined, and stay consistent. We live by that.
You really need to be thankful of everybody before the need comes to really lean on them. You need to be thankful of your community. You need to be thankful of all your staff.
Listening to what our coworkers need, what our suppliers need. You have to be able to evolve your business, because I think that has served us well during this period of time, and it will continue to do so in the future.
I always believe that you help the community, you give back to the community will give back to you. I think is what gives us the energy, the passion to keep going. We have to show them we will get through this.